If you are hearing these words right now, it is no accident. You have been led here by a force greater than coincidence, a divine orchestration that has guided your steps to this very moment. Chosen ones, listen closely. Everything you have endured, every test you have passed, every fiery trial you have walked through, has prepared you for this day. You were not randomly tossed into hardship. You were specifically trained, refined, and strengthened to carry a mantle of victory that only the strongest of hearts can bear. This is your battlefield, and the challenges you have faced were never meant to break you. They were designed to sharpen your resolve and awaken the power that lies within you. Think back to the darkest nights, those times you felt utterly alone, convinced that your prayers were echoing into a void. Do you see now how you always emerged on the other side with new wisdom, deeper faith, and a resilience that you could only gain by facing the storm? Those nights were not wasted. They were sacred opportunities for you to discover that there is a warrior spirit embedded in the core of your being, one that refuses to bow to defeat. And here you are, standing on the threshold of a breakthrough that has been in the making for longer than you can imagine. Chosen ones, you've been trained for this moment. Do not fail now. The trials that once seemed insurmountable were never an indication that you were powerless. They were confirmation of the strength you carry. Just as steel is forged in blazing fire, your character has been molded in the heat of adversity. Each difficulty shaped you into a person who can stand in the face of any obstacle and say, "I will not be moved." With every tear shed, every moment of wondering if you could go any further, you were actually taking another step into your destiny. Do you recall the story of David, a shepherd boy, overlooked by his own family, dismissed as insignificant? But when the giant stood before him, mocking everything he held dear, David did not cower. All those years tending sheep, wrestling wild animals, defending the flock, those were not wasted chores. They were covert training sessions, orchestrated by heaven to prepare him for a battle that would change history. And when the moment came, he stepped forward, fearless, anointed, and ready. He looked at Goliath, a giant who struck terror in the hearts of an entire army, and David knew that his preparation in the hidden fields would not fail him. He prevailed with a simple sling and unwavering faith. You too have your own giant waiting. It may not look like a towering figure in battle armor, but it might be a financial challenge, a chronic insecurity, a deep-rooted fear, or a cycle of struggle that has haunted your family for generations. Whatever shape your Goliath takes, you stand before it fully armed with the lessons of your past. This is why you must not shrink back. You have not come this far to turn away in doubt. Every step behind you was a rehearsal for this confrontation. You are more prepared than you realize, for the same power that guided David's hand guides yours now. If you are ready to seize this moment, to stand and declare that your past failures will no longer define you, then let this be your act of faith. Type 777 in the comments as a bold declaration that you refuse to let fear rob you of your inheritance. By typing 777, you are making a public statement. I have been trained for this. I will not fail. The road has not been easy, but you were never promised an easy path, only a victorious destination. Abraham was called out of everything he knew into a journey that seemed illogical and fraught with uncertainty. Yet through all the detours and the waiting, he discovered that divine promises are worth every moment of wrestling with the unknown. Joseph was unjustly thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, and wrongfully imprisoned. Yet ultimately he rose to a position of influence that saved nations. His incarceration was the training ground for his elevation. Without those detours, without those painful turns, Joseph would never have been shaped into the leader he became. Look at your own detours. the financial setbacks that taught you how to manage resources more wisely, the heartbreaks that deepened your compassion for others, the rejections that drove you to refine your skill set and prove what you're truly made of. Can you see now that all of it was weaving together a destiny that could not be achieved by a smooth and unchallenged road? As Romans 8:28 reminds us, all things work together for the good of those who love God, for those who are called according to his purpose. That verse is not just a comforting quote, it is a reality you have lived. Every tragedy that you thought would end you became the very force that propelled you forward. There is a shift happening right now, and you can feel it. The air is charged with anticipation, a holy expectation that something monumental is about to unfold. You did not come here by chance. You were drawn by an invisible current of purpose, a nudging in your spirit that says, "Pay attention, for I am about to do a new thing." This is the moment you were trained for, the battlefield you have been equipped to face. So do not let the roar of intimidation cause you to retreat. The same God who parted seas and toppled walls for those who trusted him is the one who stands with you now. Listen carefully. Your future is calling, echoing through every fiber of your being. It whispers that you are chosen, set apart from the masses, destined to break barriers and walk in realms of influence that will leave others in awe. Yes, you may feel the trembling of nerves, the nagging voice that wonders if you are truly capable. But remember, those who accomplish the impossible are not the ones who never feel fear. They are the ones who push forward despite it, clinging to the truth that they are not walking alone. Chosen ones, you've been trained for this moment. Do not fail now. Put on the armor of faith. Let your doubts fall like broken chains, for they have no hold on a warrior of your caliber, indeed, a warrior. Because that is precisely what you are. You do not need the approval of others to validate your calling. It was given to you in secret. Even if no one else sees the battles you fought in the dark, even if your scars remain hidden, heaven is fully aware of them. You have been validated from above, and there is no higher authority than that. Yet do not think for a moment that the path ahead requires a stoic isolation. Just as Moses had Aaron and Elijah had Elisha, you are not meant to walk this path alone. Seek out those who carry a similar fire, who refuse to let complacency define them. Surround yourself with those who speak life over your dreams. The company you keep will either fan your flame or extinguish it. Choose wisely. Your training wasn't just about overcoming personal struggles, it was also about developing the capacity to lift others. When you conquer your own limitations, you become a pillar of strength for those around you, a beacon of hope in a world that desperately needs more light. This is how movements start. One person rises, inspires another, and together they ignite a generation. And in this time of global shaking, economic uncertainties, moral confusion, spiritual hunger, the stage is set for true leaders to emerge. Will you be one of them? If your heart says yes, then let this moment be a defining one. Type 777 in the comments if you haven't already. It's not a magic number. It's a symbol of your agreement with destiny, a way of saying, I stand among the chosen, and I will not let my training go to waste, because every time you declare your faith publicly, you strengthen it internally. Scripture reminds us that we walk by faith, not by sight. This means you may not see every piece of the puzzle yet. You may not know how the finances will come, how the relationship will mend, or how the door of opportunity will finally swing open. But you do know the one who holds all these answers. Trust is the currency of the miraculous. It is in that trust you'll find the confidence to step forward when logic tells you to stand still. It is in that trust that walls of limitation crumble. Remember Gideon trembling in the winepress, hiding from the Midianites. The angel of the Lord addressed him as a mighty warrior, even when Gideon only saw himself as weak and unqualified. Yet once he aligned himself with the truth of who he really was, victory followed. So many of you have looked in the mirror and seen only flaws, deficiencies, or regrets. But heaven looks at you and sees the champion within. Your previous battles were a wake-up call to that champion. Do not silence that voice now. Yes, there will be voices around you, even within you, that say this moment is too big, that you're not ready, that it's wiser to stay in your comfort zone. But if you were meant to remain in complacency, you would not feel this stirring in your spirit. The sense of urgency you carry is not just adrenaline, it is divine motivation. There is a cause, there is a mission, and you are at the forefront. Courage, dear chosen one, is not the absence of fear, but the conquering of it. Some of you are on the verge of a major financial breakthrough. You have sown seeds in tears, poured your last ounce of energy into business ideas, creative endeavors, or educational pursuits that seemed fruitless for too long. But remember the promise: those who sow in tears will reap with shouts of joy. When the harvest comes, it will be so abundant that you'll look back and see how every sacrifice was divinely multiplied. The key is not to give up before the harvest arrives. A farmer does not abandon his field 2 days before reaping. He waits because he trusts the law of growth. Trust that the seeds you planted in faith did not fall on infertile ground. Others are about to break free emotionally. Chains of past trauma, rejection, or heartbreak have weighed you down, whispering that you'll never experience true wholeness. That is a lie. You were designed for joy, not perpetual sorrow. The tears you shed have watered the soil of your future. You have been learning compassion, humility, and empathy through those tears, qualities that will become your superpower in helping others heal. There's a reason you endured so much emotionally. You are now equipped to speak life into those walking a similar path. Some of you have a calling that seems radically different from what the people around you understand. Perhaps you've been ridiculed for your dreams, told they were unrealistic or too grandiose. Take heart. Noah was mocked for building an ark long before the rain came. Pioneers always face resistance because they're moving into territory that no one else sees yet. But you do see it, and that vision is your compass. It's okay to feel overwhelmed at times. Even Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane experienced deep agony when contemplating his impending sacrifice. Yet he emerged from that moment strengthened, ready to fulfill his mission. The overwhelming pressure you feel is the labor pain of giving birth to something extraordinary. Embrace it. Lean into it, let it transform you rather than break you. Chosen ones, you've been trained for this moment. Do not fail now. Dare to rise above the noise of doubt. Dare to stand firm when everything around you is shaking. Dare to believe that you are the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. Dare to proclaim that victory is not just possible, it is inevitable for those who refuse to quit. Your struggle is your stage, your scars are your credentials, your faith is your weapon, so wield it boldly. And if your heart resonates with this call, then take one more step of faith. Comment 777 below. Link arms with the countless others who are also stepping out of the shadows of hesitation. Together, you form a community of believers who are ready to rewrite narratives, topple giants, and illuminate the world with hope. This very second, heaven is leaning in, listening for your response. Angels are on standby, waiting for the command to move on your behalf. Such is the gravity of your decision. Yes, it's a spiritual battle, but you have spiritual artillery that cannot be matched by any earthly force. Stand tall, refuse to hand over your dreams to doubt. Fix your gaze on the promise, not on the problem. As you do, you'll find that the mountains of resistance shrink before you. Remember the words of Isaiah, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles." This is not about passively waiting, it's about active expectation, the kind that prepares for the moment the gates of opportunity swing wide open. Eagles do not flap frantically, they wait for the current of wind to soar higher. You too can soar above storms that once threatened to consume you. If you were to look back at every major breakthrough in your life, you'd see a pattern of pressure, perseverance, and then promotion. That sequence has always been the divine blueprint for champions. The pressure was your training ground, the perseverance was your test, and promotion is now your portion. You've reached the tipping point, the final push, the crossing of the Jordan River. Keep your eyes forward, for what lies ahead is greater than what lies behind. Do not fail now. The moment you've prayed for, dreamed of, or even quietly suspected might never come is materializing before your eyes. Stay faithful, stay humble, and stay connected to the voice of truth. Your story will testify of resilience, empowerment, and divine favor. In a world that's too often consumed with negativity, your breakthrough will serve as living proof that faith still moves mountains. People will look at your journey and see that impossible odds mean nothing when set against a person called and trained by the Almighty. Chosen ones, you have permission to succeed. You have permission to defy expectations. You have permission to stand in the fullness of your gifts without apology. The world needs your light, your courage, your authenticity. You've been entrusted with a mission that only you can fulfill. Every day you spend hesitating is a day someone else waits for the solution you carry. Rise up, step out, and trust that every resource, every connection, every ounce of wisdom you need will be supplied in abundance. Yes, the training was intense. Yes, there were days you wanted to give up, but you did not come this far just to abandon the victory that is rightfully yours. You have endured the fiery furnace and walked away without being consumed. You have stood before life's storms and found that your anchor holds firm. You have soared above valleys of despair, discovering that you have wings of faith you never knew existed. Own that reality. Own the fact that you are not who you used to be. You are braver, wiser, and stronger. So let the roar of courage rise from within you. When you speak, let your words reflect the transformation that's happened in your soul. When you act, let your steps be directed by divine wisdom. When you pray, do so with the confidence of a child speaking to a loving parent, certain of a listening ear and a responding hand. This confidence is your birthright as a chosen one. Embrace it. If your spirit is stirring right now, if your heart is beating faster, if tears are welling in your eyes, recognize this as the hand of destiny upon you. Don't dismiss that stirring as mere emotion. It's the echo of eternity, reminding you that you are seen, known, and called. Type 777 to solidify that decision, to align with the wave of faith that's crashing into your life. It's time to ride that wave, to let it carry you to shores you've only glimpsed in your dream. God has not brought you this far just to leave you. He finishes what he starts, and if you look at the tapestry of your life, you'll see his fingerprints on every thread. The near misses that could have destroyed you, but didn't. The random acts of kindness that arrived just when you needed them most. The unexplainable nudges that steered you clear of disastrous decisions. All of these were signs that you are under divine supervision. How much more will he do now that you are saying yes wholeheartedly to your calling? Chosen ones, you've been trained for this moment. Do not fail now. This is your season of rising, your hour of triumph, your chapter of unprecedented glory. Yes, glory. Not for your ego or pride, but glory that points to a higher power at work in your life. A testimony that radiates hope, reminding everyone that there is a greater author scripting these pages. And so we stand on the brink of a new era in your life. The ground may tremble and the enemy may rage, but you are grounded in a promise that cannot be shaken. You are covered by a grace that does not evaporate in the heat of battle. Victory is not just an event, it's a condition of your spirit. You were born to win, and the outcome has been settled in your favor from the moment you said yes to this journey. Keep your eyes open. Opportunities will appear like sunrises after the darkest night. Keep your ears open. You'll sense divine whispers, guiding you in decisions that will catapult your influence. Keep your heart open. Love, empathy, and compassion will be your greatest weapons in a world that desperately needs healing. Do not let bitterness or offense weigh you down. Forgive quickly, love deeply, and move forward with an unburdened soul. Even now, new ideas might be bursting into your mind, revelations on how to tackle an old problem or strategies to birth a new project. Take note of them. Do not dismiss those divine downloads. They are part of your training, manifesting in real time. Just as you were shaped by trials, you will be guided by insight. Be quick to act on those inspirations before doubt has a chance to creep in. Do you feel the electricity in the atmosphere, that surge of anticipation, that sense that you are on holy ground? It's the tangible presence of purpose meeting destiny. Heaven and earth aligning so that everything inside you and around you comes into agreement with your calling. Treasure this feeling, for it is rare and powerful. When fear tries to resurface, and it will, remind yourself of the battles you've already won. Fear cannot withstand the onslaught of testimony. Keep a mental record of every victory, every answered prayer, every miracle, big or small. These are stones of remembrance, proof that if God did it before, He will do it again. Your history with Him is a prophecy for your future. Let the cynics watch, let the skeptics question, but you keep your gaze forward. There's no need to argue with those who lack vision. Not everyone will celebrate your rise. Some may even attempt to pull you down out of envy or disbelief. But know this, the favor on your life cannot be revoked by anyone else's opinion. God's anointing does not bend to human critique. Maintain your integrity. Stay humble, and let your fruit speak for itself. Chosen ones, you've been trained for this moment. Do not fail now. Everything in your past has culminated here, in a grand crescendo of faith that is about to explode into reality. The prison is turning into a palace. The desert is blossoming into a garden. The mountain you thought you couldn't climb is about to become the stage from which you'll see the vast expanse of territory meant for you. Trust this transition. Trust that every tear, every prayer, every ounce of perseverance has set you up for the unveiling of your highest potential. If you are with me this far, let your faith be known. Comment 777. As a sign that you are stepping into agreement with this word, sealing it in the spiritual realm, and announcing it to your own heart. Let it also be a public testament that you are not standing alone. There are countless others who hear this same call, who are just as determined to shift from training into full activation of purpose. Breathe in the promise, you are more than a conqueror. Breathe out the doubt, failure is not your final chapter. Instead, success, significance, and impact form the trilogy of your future. Your family tree will change because of the choices you make today. Generations yet unborn will benefit from your courage in this season. This is bigger than you, though it includes you. It's about the ripple effect of one life fully surrendered to destiny. Strengthen yourself in the Word. Recall the stories of heroes who went before you. Noah, Abraham, Joseph, Moses, Ruth, Esther, David, Daniel, Paul. These were ordinary individuals who dared to trust an extraordinary God. Their existence echoes through time, reminding us that the path of the righteous may be narrow, but it is powerful beyond measure. And you, dear one, are part of that lineage of faith. You may wonder how you will handle the blessings when they come, how you'll manage the influence or steward the resources. But fear not, The same spirit that led you through the training will teach you to navigate success. Humility will keep you grounded, gratitude will keep you joyful, and accountability will keep you safe. Do not shrink back from the prospect of greatness, for false humility is a trap. Embrace the greatness you were destined for, and let it point hearts to the giver of all good things. Chosen ones, you've been trained for this moment. Do not fail now. I sense a swelling wave of confidence rising in your spirit. Ride it, do not doubt its power. Yes, you will encounter new challenges, but your perspective has changed. You no longer see problems as walls, you see them as doors disguised, leading to new opportunities. You've developed a spiritual reflex that defaults to faith rather than fear. Use it. Time is moving swiftly. That urgency you feel is a call to action, a sign that the window of opportunity is open. Strike while the iron is hot. Speak life into your situation. Speak healing over your wounds. Speak provision over your finances. Speak victory over your conflicts. The power of life and death is in the tongue. Let your words align with your destiny, not your doubts. For those who have been waiting on clear direction, listen closely. The still small voice within you has been whispering solutions, but perhaps you've drowned it out with busyness or overthinking. Quiet the noise. Get alone with your maker. Journal your thoughts. Pray with expectancy. Doors open more easily when we approach them with a sense of calm assurance. Even now, you may be feeling the weight of all this. A sense of destiny can be heavy, but it's a glorious weight. An indicator that your life is not random. And though the road ahead may have twists and turns, each step you take in faith will illuminate the path in front of you. Courage, dear chosen one, is your companion. Let it guide you when logic falls short. I can see in my spirit the unveiling of gifts you didn't even know you possessed. Creative solutions, supernatural favor, acceleration in areas that were previously stuck. This is the fruit of your training. The abilities that lay dormant in you needed adversity to awaken. Much like seeds need the pressure of soil and water to germinate, now they are coming to life, vibrant and unstoppable. If you have not yet typed 777, this is your moment. Engage your faith. Make this not just a passive experience, but a definitive act of agreement. Watch how that simple action stirs confidence in you, reminding you that you are actively participating in your destiny. This is not a spectator sport. Your future requires your direct involvement. Let your imagination run free for a moment. Visualize yourself stepping into the scene of your breakthrough. See the obstacles dissolving like shadows chased away by the morning sun. Feel the rush of relief and excitement as the reality of your victory dawns on you. Now realize this. You are not just imagining. You are catching a glimpse of a future that awaits, one that you can step into by faith. In Hebrews, we read that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Substance implies something tangible. Your faith is forming a spiritual blueprint that will manifest in time. Evidence suggests that, even if your physical senses don't yet confirm it, the truth remains. Your breakthrough is real. It's as real as the breath you inhale, waiting to manifest as soon as all conditions, your trust, your timing, your obedience, align. Remember, chosen ones, training is never purposeless. Even Jesus spent time in the wilderness before starting his public ministry. Paul spent years in preparation after his Damascus Road experience. Moses spent 40 years in Midian before confronting Pharaoh. The pattern is undeniable. Desert seasons precede divine missions. If you're emerging from your own desert, rejoice, because that means your mission is about to begin in earnest. Be prepared for acceleration, because often when God lifts you to a new dimension, it happens swiftly. Opportunities you once chased will start chasing you. People who dismissed you will realize they cannot ignore what's happening in your life. Doors that seemed permanently locked will open effortlessly. Accept this new normal. Do not sabotage it by questioning your worth. You are worthy not because of your perfection, but because of divine grace. So stand firm, shoulders back, chin up. Let the glow of anticipation light your eyes. Every cell in your body can resonate with the truth that you have been called for such a time as this. Like Esther standing before the king, you are entering a realm where your voice and influence can shift the destiny of many. Boldness will be your ally, and divine favor your shield. Chosen ones, you've been trained for this moment. Do not fail now. As you approach this critical junction, know that heaven is cheering you on. The cloud of witnesses, those who have gone before, are urging you to press onward. The world needs your breakthrough because your life is a message in motion. The ripple effects of your obedience will be felt far beyond what you see with your natural eyes. If your heart is ablaze with hope, if your spirit is dancing with anticipation, then you are exactly where you need to be. Trust that the one who began this work in you will see it through to completion. You didn't choose to be chosen. You answered the call that was placed on you before you ever took your first breath. It is woven into your very DNA. Look back one more time at all the mountains you've conquered, the battles you've survived. They are proof that no weapon formed against you has ever truly prospered. Take that proof into your next battle. Remind the enemy of your track record. You've been knocked down but never destroyed. You've wept, but not forever. You've bled, but scars heal into testimonies. This unstoppable momentum is the inheritance of the chosen. So, move forward with confidence. Let your yes echo through every decision you make, every opportunity you embrace. Do not overthink. Do not second-guess the anointing on your life. Step out and discover that the ground you feared might give way is actually solid rock. Don't fail now, not when you're on the cusp of something magnificent. If you're still reading, it means your spirit is devouring these words like thirsty ground soaking in rain. This is no coincidence. It's the confirmation you've been seeking, the final nudge to declare that you are ready. So do it. Comment 7777. Let that be your moment of solidifying what you already know deep inside. You are a warrior called to triumph. And if you feel tension in the pit of your stomach, that is merely the birth pangs of destiny. Do not resist them. This discomfort is your soul stretching to accommodate the bigger life you are stepping into. Painful as it might feel, it's also exhilarating, like a runner pushing past the last bit of exhaustion to break the finish line tape. Keep running, keep pressing, because when this is all said and done, you'll look back and realize the training was never meant to defeat you, but to define you. You'll marvel at how each obstacle shaped a certain aspect of your character, how each heartbreak made you more empathetic, how each financial struggle taught you stewardship, how each season of loneliness drew you closer to the divine. None of it was wasted. Not one tear, not one disappointment. Chosen ones, you've been trained for this moment. Do not fail now. You're about to witness a turning of the tide in your favor. The battles that lingered for years are about to meet their expiration date. The illusions that tried to convince you of your insignificance are being shattered by the revelation of who you really are. Embrace it. Stand tall in it. Step boldly into the new territory assigned to you. Yes, you are stepping into new territory, a place of enlarged influence, deeper connections, and broader horizons. And in this territory, you are not an intruder. You belong here. Your footprints are meant to mark this ground. With every step, you claim the inheritance that has your name etched upon it. The fear that once paralyzed you now bows to your newfound audacity.